So the Islanders finally sign all the guys that we've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks now with all these other podcasts. And I don't know why they decided to announce it all at the same time. Maybe they all got signed at the same time. I don't know.
Maybe they were just all on vacation and they were like, yeah, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And obviously, Lou Lamoriello, the GM of the New York Islanders, kind of works on his own time compared to other GMs of the NHL. So, anyways, they've signed 4 players, all from the team last year. Anthony Beauvillier, he's kind of a top 6 forward for them. He signed for 3 years for $4.15 million per season. So that's not a bad price tag for a top 6 forward. Casey Cizikas, there's a lot of discussion around this one because he signed for 6 years and he's a bottom 6 forward. And yeah, he's a bottom 6 forward, but the thing is that he is he's basically what the Islanders are all about. He is the New York Islanders. That's
exactly what I was about to say. That's their identity, is that their bottom 6 are really good and they're really great two-way players. So the signing like that totally makes sense to have him secured for 6 years. It just secures kind of like the foundation of your bottom 6. And if that's what your team's going to be all about, go for it. I like that signing.
Now I love it too.
I think it's a good deal for the way their team plays.
And my only thing about, and I'm kind of piggybacking on some of the commentators I heard on NHL Network Radio on Sirius XM today, but they were just surprised at the length of it because this guy is 30 years old. You know, you don't normally see 30-year-olds signing 6-year contracts, and I know that the cap hit's only at 2.5, and I mean that's a great cap hit for Casey Cizikas. I mean that's about average for a really good bottom 6 forward. But the years is just, that's a long time. I mean, it typically,
as someone who roots for the Dallas Stars, who just signed Ryan Suter until he's like 50 years old, I think
we can't really say anything.
Just fine.
Yeah, right. So, anyways, I like the signing. Obviously, I love Casey Cizikas. He's one of those underrated players that doesn't get really talked about very much, just because of the role he plays. You know, everyone, Connor McDavid and Artemi Panarin and Sidney Crosby, Alexander Ovechkin, but then these guys kind of get looked over. The Foxes of the world, the Dickinsons, the Casey Cizikases, and he's just a really good pickup.
It's Cizikai.
Cizikai, is that how you're gonna say it?
No, that is how you say it. So
there's no way that's
be polite. Thank you.
There's no way. Not a chance. Okay. Anyways, they also shore up their goaltending with the signing of their rookie Sorokin. He signed for 3 years at about $4 million. So that's pretty good for, I would basically consider him the backup to Varlamov, right? I mean, Varlamov is the better of the 2 goaltenders.
Yeah.
But what's awesome about those 2 guys is that if one is really struggling, they can throw the other in the net and be perfectly fine, the way that the Islanders play. So, I mean, they're just like the Stars. They roll 4 lines consistently and probably more consistently than the Stars do. So,
and
that's a good signing for them.
You have to have 2 goalies that can fully start pretty much. So it's definitely a good. I mean, it's an expensive backup. $4 million is not cheap, but
right,
you need it in today's NHL. We've seen that with all the past teams that have won championships. They've all had great backups.
Not always,
except Tampa, maybe.
well, and Vasilevsky is just a freaking beast. It's not even fair. I mean, I think he played every single playoff game. Every single one the past 2 seasons.
The past 2, yeah.
And like, especially last year, with all the back-to-backs that they were doing in the bubble and stuff like that to get the playoffs done.
That's stupid.
That's stupid. That's insane. But
he's cheating. What a cheater.
And then, so that was a good signing anyway with Sorokin. Sorokin, he kind of bloomed a little late. I think he's 25 or 26 as a rookie last year. But, goaltenders kind of ripen a little later than most players do. So
yeah, that's not abnormal.
Yeah, that's not abnormal at all to see. And then they re-signed Kyle Palmieri, who they got in from the trade deadline from the New Jersey Devils last season. And it's a good length. It's a 4-year length, but the cap hit, I think, is a little high for Kyle Palmieri. And it's at $5 million. Wait, thoughts about that?
You're paying a little more to get the term that you want, honestly. I mean, 4 years is kind of like a sweet spot for a guy like that with the age that he is. So you're gonna pay for him not having as much job security as he might like. So I think it makes sense for both sides. It's not the other three. I think are really team friendly deals, and this one isn't as much. But
I think that the first three are very team friendly, cap wise.
yeah,
Lengthwise for Cizikas, that's I don't know if I would have given him 6 years, but I can understand why they gave it to him. Because I mean, he is the New York Islanders. He is like a staple of that team.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was offered to him from the team. Like he didn't even ask for that. Like that was what was offered. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Right, and you know what? That maybe that was it. I mean, Lou Lamoriello does things differently than most GMs do, and you know he's had championship teams basically anywhere he's gone.
3 years in a row now for the Islanders.
Yeah, and what's funny about the Islanders is that they don't really have like a bona fide superstar, right? They're just a really, really good, hardworking team.
Sounds like the Stars.
Yeah, and I mean maybe that's the difference of what might put us over the edge rather than the Islanders. I don't know. But I mean, when you think of like the best forwards for the Islanders, you think of like Matthew Barzal. That's the first name that comes to mind. And I mean, he's really good. Don't get me wrong. He's probably could be a 30-goal scorer most seasons. Maybe 60, 70 points. Pencil him in for that.
But Matthews though.
Right. Exactly. He's not a Matthews. He's not a Marner. He's not a I don't know, Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby still scores points like crazy, even at his age. Malkin. I mean, players like that. He's not like a superstar, but he's still a good player, and he leads a lot of the offense for the New York Islanders.
Yeah, but you kind of hinted at maybe the Stars can get some of that, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I got some hot takes for y'all.